Hi, my name is Grace Bartlett. I'm at the Teen Library Advisory Board at the Coralville Public Library, and I'm going to teach you how to make hand squeeze lemonade. Okay, so what you need are just like one basic normal looking pitcher, one long spoon to just kind of stir with, one dry measuring cup, kind of looks like this, for your sugar, and one wet measuring cup for your water. Also your lemon juice. Have a cup ready too, just in case. A cutting board and a knife for fruits. Just like one regular bowl. 6 lemons, 1 cup of sugar, and we're gonna do 1/2 cup of lemonade. And then you also need a fork, and I think 6 cups of cold water. Okay, so you can just start out by taking your normal lemons, and what's good about this recipe is you don't have to use like any sort of fruit juice or anything. You can just juice them by hand. That's what we're gonna do. So just start by cutting your lemon in half like this and just taking it over the bowl and squeezing it in. So if some seeds get in, that's fine. What I did is I just picked some of them out, or if that takes too long, if you have like a sort of pasta strainer at home or anything like that, you can just use that to like help speed up the process, but you don't have to. It didn't take very long to pick out the seeds anyway, and not a whole bunch of seeds get in there, so it doesn't really bother you that much. So you just want to get in there and kind of crush it in half and just squeeze all the way from the top to the ends. And then when you're kind of sure you got everything out of there, just kind of put it to the side. So it doesn't look like a lot now, but also like it'll get better once you add more. And another way you could like just help get more lemon juice out of here is if you roll the lemons on a countertop. So you just put 2 hands on it and you just roll it back and forth to kind of loosen the skin off of it. You don't have to. I think it gives you the same amount of juice, but it definitely helps when you squeeze. You don't have to squeeze as hard. So, it might make a little bit of a mess. This is kind of messy, but it should just be kind of squishy like this. Not super like soft or anything, but just normal. And then just cut it in half again and just squeeze. And you can kind of have this in front of you. It doesn't really bother you that much. Just squeeze it all the way from the top to the ends. And then if you think that there's still stuff in there, if you just have a normal fork, if you kind of just go around the edges and just twirl inside like that, and then squeeze out more juice comes out. So this part is a little messy, so you should probably wash your hands before you do this, and wash after, just to be safe. Especially if you're touching a whole bunch of stuff, because you're definitely hands-on with this, because we're not using any type of juicer. Just kind of going like that. And then it shouldn't be too pulpy. If you want to add more pulp to it, doesn't really matter. Like you can get in there, but I like my lemonade with no pulp, so. It's 2. Just gonna crush it in there. And the more there is, like, the better, I would say. I like my lemonade not too sweet, and you're going to be using some sugar later. So you definitely want to get as much as you can out of there. But if you think there's still some stuff in there, don't worry too much about it. You'll definitely have enough. Just keep squeezing. And this part takes the longest, so you'll probably this is the most time-consuming part. Shouldn't take too long. I would say like 5 to 10 minutes to finish the whole thing. So you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. And then you can kind of see there's some seeds dropping in there. And like I said, like you can pick them out. That's what I did originally. I just picked all of mine out. But, for the sake of time, you can always just use like any sort of strainer, which if you have like a pasta strainer or just like really anything that like has some holes in it, you can get your seeds out like that. And just cut in half. You can see the more you squeeze, the more juice comes out. Shouldn't be too hard. And then again, this is just 6 lemons, so you're gonna get around a half a cup of lemon juice out of this. And this part, like I said, it's super messy, so want to wash your hands, maybe wash your area just when you're done with this all, because when you're squeezing them like this, it can get a little everywhere. And I think the rolling is a really good thing to do, just because it's way easier to get the lemon juice. So you just want to cut. I'm just going to keep doing this until you think all the lemon juice is out. And I'm starting to make a pile over here. And if you want to, when you're done with them, just throw them out so you have more room on your cutting board. But you won't be using the cutting board after this anyway, so you can just leave them out. And then I'm also cutting these individually, but if you just want to roll and then cut them out and then squeeze them, it shouldn't take very long. But the hand squeezing is good just because, I know I don't have a juicer, so if you just want to make some lemonade, but it doesn't take very long, what I'm doing is I'm just folding the lemon in half and then just keep going back in and out and folding it in half. And then it's just kind of squeezing. And then if I think there's still some more stuff left in there, or I just want to get the rest of it out, go in with your fork, which I thought the fork was very helpful. So I think and if you see seeds just sitting on the top, you can kind of pick those out so you don't have to worry about them later. Okay, I think that's all you can get out of here. And now you're gonna take your wet measuring cup, just like this. You're gonna take your bowl of lemon juice and you're gonna take it over to the sink. I took it over the sink just to be kind of safe with it. And I'm using a pasta strainer just for the sake of time, but like I said, it took me maybe 5 minutes to pick the rest of these out, just because they float at the top, so it doesn't bother you a whole lot. But you want to take your you want to take your pasta strainer and set it on top of here and just pour into it. And this part's kind of hard because you don't really want to spill, so you have to be careful with it. That's why I do it over by the sink. Just set this in here. Over here. You have about this much lemon juice. I'm gonna rinse my hands super quick, just because, like I said, it can get very messy. Now what you're gonna want to do is you want to move all your stuff over here. You want to take your pitcher and you're just gonna pour your lemon juice in. So this, around half a cup of lemon juice, that's all you really need, and just pour it in. You can leave that in here. Okay, now you're gonna use your same pitcher, your measuring cup, and you wanna go over to your sink, and you're just gonna fill up 6 cups of water. And it doesn't have to be exact because it really depends on how you like your lemonade. I like mine to be not as sweet, but not super sour at the same time. So If it's too strong, you can always add like another cup, half cup of water, or maybe just like add a little less sugar. It really depends on how you like it. This is just a very basic recipe. Let's just show you how to do it. Make sure you get all your water in there. I think that was 5. And you're 6. Okay, now that you have all of this in here, you don't have to do much mixing. I didn't do any. You're just gonna take your 1 cup of sugar in your dry measuring cup, and you're just gonna add it in. And now this is the part you have to really stir. So you wanna take your long spoon, and I'm using a long one just because you can add really any spoon, but it's easier to make it like this. And you really just wanna stir, like all the way to the bottom to make sure the sugar dissolves into it. And this takes, I would say, about like a minute or 2. It shouldn't even not that long. You just want to make sure you don't have any like bits in there that might be super grainy. Okay. I'm gonna take this and set it right here. And now if you want to, which I'm going to, you can put some ice in there, or you can just put ice in your cup. You can put some ice in. Not a whole lot, but that's about as much as I want. And then you can take your cup, just pull it over to the side, put a couple ice cubes in. Just be careful when you pour. And now you're all done.